So, but don't clap the same as me because then I get confused.
That was different.
That was really fast though.
Oh, clap slow.
You see?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I kind of get it.
So clap. One person. All right, guys. This is the Mental Lab. We already know how this goes. We got to get the claps out the way. We got to do all those little bitty things. You know, it's a staple. It's a staple here. It kind of warms you up. Yeah, it's a staple. That's what, we always do. Tati used to, I miss you, Tati. Tati used to just butcher it on every episode.
Oh, no.
Like, every episode. Like, but it's whatever. So this is the Mental Lab, guys. Welcome back. I have another book for you guys today, and I'm literally excited about all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I always say it, but I'm always excited. I think I'm just always excited because like there's always such a variety of you guys like that are coming onto the podcast that like I get to like talk to and we get to share your story. I just love it. So this is season 2 of the Mental Lab, the Human Library. I am your host, Charming, and this lovely woman right here, woman.
Yeah, I'm a woman.
Okay, I mean we just talked about Sam Smith and being not binary.
Yeah, no, so, I identify as a woman. I
don't know if I should be identifying with people. This is a wonderful book.
Yeah, it's always smart to ask for pronouns.
Yeah,
so you never.
So my sister, I think I told you so. She's not binary, but it
would be they.
But she does allow the she, her pronouns.
I have a friend like that.
Who said, but they prefer to be they and all those. They, there, them. So which is it's okay. It's like understandable. It makes sense. There's some people who it's like I'll try my hardest.
Sometimes
like
it's
you
hard.
saw me picture before.
Sometimes it's hard, especially when it's someone you've known for a really long time, and then it's different, and you're like, okay, I got to remember this. And it's not anything against them. It's just a new thing. It's like learning new things, especially when you have bad memory.
The other thing is like growing up and like learning grammar. You learn that one person is like he or she. Yeah. Or like if you don't know their gender, right? Like, you say there. Like but when you do know a person and what their body just looks like, and so like because that's only like that's a person. I don't know. Typically, like you just say that.
Yeah, it gets hard to get. Gender norms are hard, and also coming from different generations, like.
Yeah, that's true.
Me and you are from completely different generations.
Yeah, you're like 10 years younger than me. Yeah. You're in Gen Z. Is that what it is?
Gen Z.
So you guys hate us. I'm a millennial.
A lot of people don't like millennials. But I don't care.
We don't like millennials. Don't like millennials. But you guys hate us because of our stupid parts. Like, right?
Yeah.
The whole part thing. That's what y'all.
The part thing. That's some terminology. How it's just very different to be a millennial than Gen Z.
Gen Z. I mean. And
Gen Z, you tend to see a lot more progressive people.
Than millennials?
Yeah. Because think about Gen Z grew up with the internet
I feel like we taught y'all progressivity. Progression.
Progress. Oh, I didn't introduce myself fully. Hi, I'm Emily. I am a freshman in college.
I'm a registered college freshman. Hi, Emily.
Yeah.
Bro, when I go to Sex Addicts Anonymous, it's just like that.
Yeah.
Hi, Charming.
So I'm a freshman in college. I'm a biochemistry major. I failed most of my classes this semester.
You didn't fail most?
Failed 3.
Out of?
7.
See?
Okay, but I failed major class. I did fail math.
Oh, okay.
I failed math in my math support class.
Math support?
Math support's supposed to help you like do better in math, but then I stopped showing up to math support because I knew everything that was going on in math, and then I kept missing tests.
They have classes now to support the classes that you're taking?
Yeah. I wish there was a biology one. If there was a biology support class, I would have done way better in biology.
So that's not like homeroom?
No.
is it like like something you elected to take, or is it like
I had to take it because of how my math score was for high school. So going into college, at College of Charleston, I had to take a math support class because.
So they kind of like just to help you out. They make you do
it's supposed to help you, but I still failed it.
So it's like,
and I would have passed it if I just showed up, but I would sleep, and
so
my dorm's the furthest off the campus.
Do you wait?
Yes,
math support. So it's a class that you go to. And do they help you specifically with the class that you're in, or is it like a bunch of different people from all the different classes of math, and then they just all in like?
With the math support class I was in, it was supposed to specifically help with the class that I was, the other math class. So I was taking
like math 101 support.
Yeah, math 111 and math 110 and math 110 support.
So with the same teacher?
No, different teachers.
What?
But my main math teacher did like contribute to the other teacher, so he knew where.
Okay, I mean, I guess your teacher probably also taught the same math. There's like 500
It's basically that whole math support class was every week. We met twice a week, and we would just have a worksheet every day that we went in, and it was just overview of like the objective we were on for our math class, and it was kind of stupid. It was really easy, but like, I could have passed it with an A, but you just didn't go. I just didn't go to it. I was like, this is useless.
In turn, you also then failed the actual class.
I wouldn't have failed the math class, but I started falling behind like after midterms, and I didn't take the last 2 tests for my math class, and it just I went from an A to an F.
Just like that.
I'm
sure.
Because she graded things weird, so it was like everything was based off of the tests, and it's like you should have given us like more to do.
So how was
something.
So your first semester in college.
You
have to take 2 math classes basically. Nobody likes math. I love math.
I love math. I'm typically really good at it, and that's kind of why I'm like a science major.
Yeah.
But the big thing with it was like I had all these major core classes my first semester of college and terrible time management, so I didn't know what was going on at all. I was just like, I wake up and it's suddenly like, oh, I missed 3 classes already, and it's Monday.
That's Monday. My first day of classes, my freshman year of high school. So I moved into college like a few weeks early. Okay, because I was in the band, and the band had like summer camp or whatever for college. I think it was something like that. And so I came early, but like 3 or 4 days before like classes started, like the rest of the dorm started moving in, and it was cool. But like the first night, first off, I kicked my roommate out.
My roommate kicked me out all semester.
I got a letter. I got like the email, like it was like a bio of my roommate, and I was like, this dude's into LARPing and like plays.
No.
And it's like weird. I was like, bro, no. I was like, no, I'm not gonna have this dude as my roommate. That's not happening.
I mean, my roommate, first semester, really cool girl. All of my suite mates, terrible people. Did not like one of them. I liked one of them. One of them is like my best friend now, but everyone else in my dorm hated them.
I couldn't even tell you. I don't remember how I kicked him out. I just remember I had already been moved in. He was in the band as well. But I don't remember if he moved in like early or later. But I just remember like the first day he was there, I was like, bro, you got to go somewhere else.
And he did.
And
I have a new roommate.
And I picked a new roommate. And like, it wasn't like your dorm. It's like you had the suites like that, like the suites, so like the 4 rooms or whatever. It was just like the regular 2-person dorm, bathroom attached to the suite. So it was like, and then, the hallway is just like, so I don't know which door he ended up moving to, but he moved somewhere else. But anyway, so like the first night that everybody really started kind of coming in, we all went out to like little common area, like on the floor, and like we were all just hanging out, and just chilling and talking. Like it was a good time. Like, and then the next night, like more people came and we were all like really talking, and then we started giving each other nicknames. And then next night we started playing like mattress wars, and we all went and bought a bunch of Nerf guns and bullets and all this stuff. And we decked out our like dorm room, like our dorm, or like the dorm floor with like Nerf stuff. We had like Nerf guns. Like we bought extra Nerf guns and we're like, I remember we even like, we took construction paper and blocked out all the windows. Mm-hmm. And like, we had like one of our artists, he ended up drawing like the Lindenwood Lions or whatever on like a bunch of construction paper. We put that like on it was crazy. It was wild, but we spent so much time together like those 3 days. And like I said, we decked out the hallway for like Nerf war. So like anybody that walks up there, like they better be prepared and ready, right? And so we would have guns and bullets at the door, like when they come in, so that way at least they can fend for themselves if they come up there. But for the most part, we all had bullets, and it was a there were non-co-ed dorms, so it was just all dudes in our dorm. We could have females visit, but we couldn't have them. They weren't supposed to stay over. It was also a dry campus too, which no, that wasn't happening. But so that third night that we did all that, we all stayed up till like 6 a.m. And I just remember waking up middle of the day, and my so I ended up having 3 roommates because I had one friend I guess I had just met, and then there's this other gay dude who I asked him to move in as well. So it was the 3 of us. And we didn't have that much space. But we had enough space. One of the dudes just took a mattress from another room and just put it on the floor. And we just, whatever. My friend, I'm going to try and remember to put the picture in right here somewhere. Somewhere. But like, I was passed out. And my friend was like, first day of freshman year, sleep. I missed that entire first day. I didn't go to none of those stuff. Nope. Yep. That set up the rest of my school year.
I did so good in the beginning. I was at my classes on time. I had a 9 a.m. for the first half of the semester. I dropped out of that class. Yeah, no. I will say I did drop out of that class. The first weekend before classes started, the guys upstairs had a party. It was terrible.
The party was terrible? Or
the party was terrible. And I had it's so funny to look at now, but it's like, it was terrible in the moment. I almost hooked up with one of the guys in that room. And so all semester, I kept seeing him around, and I was just like,
this might happen.
So we went back to my dorm after like we drank and stuff after they went to go find another party because theirs was like absolutely trash.
We don't promote irresponsible drinking here on the Mental Lab.
Don't drink. Be
we
sober.
Don't promote irresponsible drinking.
Be a good Christian child.
If you are struggling with an alcohol addiction, we don't promote irresponsible drinking here. The things you hear here are in the past, and they cannot be discounted or they cannot those words to you today. So
don't be like me.
Don't be like me either.
Don't be like us.
If we talk about college from back, look.
Yeah, we're talking.
That was not right now.
That was like a few months ago.
We're responsibly being responsible people.
Yeah, I'm responsible now. I have my shit together for the most part. For the most part, I have my shit together. But
yeah, for the part that you can't.
Yeah, so he came downstairs, and we hung out in my dorm. We made out a little bit. We were chilling in my bed. We were making out. My roommate was like, "When is he leaving?" Literally, like. I thought she was asleep. She in the dead of the night. When is he leaving?
Oh,
and me and him would just look at each other like. So we went up to his dorm.
You know what ninja sex is? Have you heard that term by now?
What?
Ninja sex.
No. What?
God, again, here on the Mental Lab, we don't promote irresponsible sex.
Nothing irresponsible.
We all know about my sex addiction and how bad it is. Look, again, college. Not right now.
College.
Ninja sex is when you have people in the room or whatever when you're trying to have sex, so you have to be as quiet as you can.
Oh, I've done that before.
I learned that in college.
Well, I've learned it in college now too. Anyways, we went upstairs.
Those days.
And we went to his room, and his roommate was asleep, dead asleep. Man was snoring so loud. I gave him a hand job.
We don't promote irresponsible sex here.
No irresponsible sex. Do not hook up with no college guys.
I'm just do the trigger warning real quick. So here in the Mental Lab, we talk about a lot of things that can be potentially triggering, especially if you have certain addictions or things you're trying to come down from and you're trying to be sober, whether that's alcohol, sex, drugs, financial, spending, all those kinds of things. We talk about a lot of stuff here. And so when we talk about these things in light, we don't mean that these topics are not sensitive. We are just, real people with real things going on in our lives. And we just happen to be goofy at the moment. But these topics and these things are very sensitive. So if you are or you do happen to be triggered, one, I want you to run down the street. I just run. I don't care what you're wearing. Just sprint down the street, run for about 7 blocks. And when you get to that block, I want you to find the nicest, sweetest, most oldest senile lady. And I want you to
where is this going?
I want you to walk into her house, feed her pets, clean her dishes, make her bed, do her laundry for her. And then I want you to bring her some ice cream so she can nibble on it with her nubs. And then after that, and you feel a little bit better, I want you to find your way to my resources on officialmentallab.com/resources, where there's about 80 different resources you can access right now as well. So on there, also, we have a spotlight for our newest sponsor from the Addiction Center. So make sure you check them out and support them. But like I said, there's your trigger warning. Responsible, irresponsible. Continue.
Yeah. Okay, so I gave him a hand job, right? Right into it, after the trigger warning.
Right.
He came in like 2 seconds. It was fast. And then he looks at me. It tells me, I'm not looking for a relationship.
Of course you're not.
Of course you're not. I'm only doing this because I'm this homeboy back home. What do you think I'm doing this for?
Oh, you thought this was...
You thought I was... after 2 seconds? You thought I was gonna...
No.
I said that's okay.
I'm going to sleep.
Yeah. I was like, that's okay. I'm just saying, if you want to hook up, whatever, it doesn't matter that you just came in like 5 seconds, whatever. Never heard from him again. He ghosted me. He ghosted me after that. I met a girl later that semester, had the exact same experience as me. With him. And she was so like in love with him. And I was like, girl.
Oh my Lord.
She was like, it's so big. I was like,
that's how college
no, it wasn't.
Though.
It wasn't that big. Is. Yeah. And then I became friends with her, and she's like really pretty.
Yeah.
Told me I made her question her sexuality, but
Yeah, college is wild. Questioning sexuality. Oh my God. Those days.
I've had a lot of girls come up to me and tell me that they are questioning their sexuality because of me. And I honestly don't get it. I know I'm hot, but like I am hot, okay? Like I know that. But also enough for you to question your sexuality? Yeah. Interesting. That's very interesting.
So you are the first book this season that's here who is currently a student full-time in college.
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel like a baby. No, I think that's really cool to have like a diverse amount of people on here.
Yeah.
Especially because I feel like it's like I am just starting the experience of being an adult. And yeah, I know I shed like a dog. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I was just making sure you're good.
Yeah. And so it's like I'm just opening this chapter of my life that most people have finished. And there's a whole different viewpoint of like where I am in life than like other people you're like having on the podcast, which I think is really cool.
I've had, I think like thus far, one military guy. I've had a teacher. Right?
Teachers are cool.
Yeah.
We love teachers.
And then I've also had, I guess, a military girl. Now you, and I still have, you've even met a few of the books that
I think
have
2 or 3 I've met. Yeah.
So
it's gonna be a good season.
I'm so excited for it. So with the season so far, guys, just because by the time you're watching this, the season is being aired. But just so you guys know what's happening is as I'm doing all the recording for the videos and the audios and whatnot, doing all those and I'm editing them, and then I'll release them all kind of like a TV show. And so it's really just in the future. I guess I'm just talking to Charming in the future and talking to, I guess, you and all the rest of the books. And
hi, future everyone.
Hi, future everybody. It's really cool to kind of do this, and I do notice that when I am filming, especially with the video podcast with like the books and whatnot, I feel a lot better. I feel really good. Even though like when I'm in season, I'm airing and I'm filming and doing all this stuff, I'm processing a lot. So like, it plays out to my nightmares, my sleep, my eating habits, all those things. We talked about that before. And so, but it's still really cool to be able to do these kinds of things with you guys and whatnot. Like the last few weeks, I've had a pretty wild roller coaster. Yeah. I'll be honest. Like the last few weeks, it got to a point to where I didn't film or record anything at all. I was going to try and do some vlogs because that's when I try and portray real mental, instability and unhealthiness in my vlogs, because I'll record an episode and you guys will see me happy and awesome and feeling good. And then that same day, depression or something hits, like my emotional reactivity or my borderline personality disorder will hit, and it's a completely different story. And I try and show that in the vlogs. But I mean, the last few weeks, I haven't been when I'm so bad, I've been so bad where I can't even, turn the camera on the vlog. But I feel pretty good. You've been here with me the last few days, and it's been amazing. I feel so good. And,
yeah. I've been here for almost a week now.
Yeah, man, we just been having a good time and whatnot. Yeah. So it's good. I mean, I do know that when I have somebody around me or in my life or whatever, typically I feel pretty good. My pockets might not feel too good.
Sorry about that.
But I eat more because I have somebody that's holding me accountable for the most part. Or I feel like you don't need to say nothing, but I know if I don't eat, you're going to. So I try and do it. Plus, try and find things to do and go places to eat and stuff like that.
And it's been really good for me too, because I don't really go out. I seem like crazy college girl. You think I would go out and do stuff all the time. But
because you don't got that much money yet.
I'm broke. I am
somehow
broke.
When you start, if you start working,
I'm getting a job next semester. I said I wasn't gonna get one the first semester of college, which was smart because now I can manage my time. But also, I did fail a lot of classes.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll talk about stress management.
Yeah. But being here, it's really nice because you kind of pushed me out of my shell, going to Luther's and Harold's last night. That's not stuff I really do, and I've met a lot of people being here, and that's a good experience, gets me out of my shell. And I feel like if I didn't have that, I'd just be if I went back home for break instead of coming here, I would just be in my room the whole time on my phone watching YouTube, sleeping 24 hours a day.
It's crazy how isolated I can be by myself, but when somebody else is there who I want to make sure their mental health and their well-being is good, I'll go out of my way to make the other people, better. But it's well, why can't I do that by myself? For me.
I feel because a lot of us feel well, I want to make other people feel good. I want to make other people feel good because then that makes me feel good without trying to figure out how to make yourself feel good without other people.
I think I talked about that on a podcast before. Actually, I was talking about codependence, but I guess you can still...
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a long episode. That was a lot. But I was talking about how people do things to seem completely unselfish, saying that they're doing these things for other people, but in really actuality, they get something back. And that feeling that they get back is why they are so completely unselfish. But I mean, when you can still flip it around to what you just said, it's a lot of times people do end up trying to do things for other people, but you get something back from it. And I think not only can that be a bad thing, codependence, but it'd be a good thing, especially because sometimes it just makes you feel better about taking care of other people and whatnot. It just makes you feel good. And that's okay sometimes.
Yeah. And also kind of what we talked about in the truck last night with the selfishness versus selflessness. And you want to feel like it's a selfless action, but it's really
in the truck last night?
Yeah. Cause we were talking about how I'm just the whole thing with my guy being in the hospital. It's inconvenience.
Okay. Yeah.
It's an inconvenience
versus.
And it's not me worrying about him because I know he's safe. I'm just inconvenienced that I can't talk to him as much.
I swear, I'll be having some podcast level conversations out in
Yeah.
All right, guys. So before we get too deep into the whole show today, I want to get the formalities done and out of the way with. As always, I just want to encourage you guys, if you're not already a part of the community, to subscribe to the YouTube channel or follow us on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all these different kinds of things. Make sure you like these things, share them with people that, are experiencing some of the things we talk about. And I want you guys to just kind of be able to come here for a safe place. It's a laugh. It's to also feel things and whatnot. Again, if you do need any kind of resources, the resources tab is always there for you to use. Make sure you bookmark it, save it, as like quick access to your phone, those kinds of things. In addition to all of that, I want to also let you guys know that as the season is airing, I am also making merchandise for each of the books, and like something that they end up saying during the episode, to where you guys can be able to support that way and give back to the community. Remember, the merchandise that we have is there for you guys, right? So the money that comes to the community is going right back to you guys. We donate 50% of the proceeds to Mental Health of America. Mm-hmm. And then the other half is there to give back to you guys. So that way, eventually, we can be able to give grants and whatnot to families or to people in need of things, especially with mental health, all those kinds of things. So money ain't coming to me. I don't need the money. I do this because I love being able to have the chance to help people out and whatnot. But so make sure you guys are supporting that way as well. Make sure you end up checking out the different creators tabs, because all of our books will have their own little tab on the website, by the way. I think I might have told you about that.
Yeah,
right?
We talked about that.
They're going to have a page on the website, and you can be able to support them and check out a little bit more about their lives if you want to get more detail than what you just see here today. So with that being said, that's all the formalities out the way. Besides all of that, like I told you guys before, we have a new spotlight on a new resource. We're getting new partners and things like that all the time. So with that, I just want to go ahead and turn it over to the more attractive Charmy that's like standing upstairs filming right now. He's filming the sponsorships that I've been saying that I need to do. So that's what it is. That's what I told you.
That's what I need to remind you. That's what you need to
remind me.
Okay.
So if not today, so I'm gonna try and film.
I'll remind you before the movies.
But tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're going to spot.
Don't you have a book tomorrow too?
Do I have a book? Yeah, I do have a book tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got a book, movie, and record the sponsors. Okay. But I'm gonna turn it over to that guy to talk to you about our sponsors. Hey guys, really quickly, I want to break away from today's episode to kind of talk to you a little bit about our newest partnership and sponsor of today's video, which is Sandy's Bakes. Sandy is a local business owner, Black-owned business owner as well, who makes amazing, absolute amazing treats and desserts and things of all sorts, so from cupcakes to cakes to kick pops, candy apples, and all different types of things, and offer amazing, great prices too. And they look amazing, they're beautiful. Just look at these amazing cupcakes and this beautiful mental health cake. She takes your orders and will take them above and beyond, make them absolutely beautiful for you. Currently, right now, she is making products for Beaufort and surrounding areas, but if we can get enough, we could probably get her to start shipping across the country pretty soon here. But her company just finally started, it just kicked off, and I could not thank her more for helping sponsor our actual podcast and giving back to the community, and also just being a huge supporter for us all together. And I really wanted to do and give the same back to her. So thank you, Sandy Bakes, for sponsoring today's video. Okay, welcome back, guys. So as we have done the rest of the season, we have a game just to kind of get things going before the books start sharing their stories. And today, I actually don't have a title for this one.
He gave me a tablet to draw on.
We talked about sex. So Get Your Rocks Off is the name of this game.
Oh my gosh. That's terrible. Okay.
Get your rocks off. I don't know. So this might be something you guys are familiar with. I actually haven't heard of this until a few years ago, but some of you might be familiar with this. But I'm pretty sure probably not. And you probably haven't. I don't know. You're probably not that familiar with it, but it's my take. So, So here's what's going to happen. She doesn't know what the game is, just like all the rest of the books have not known what the game was in advance. but there's going to be two different portions of the game. So this first portion, what you're going to do is you're going to you can make the brush a different size. That, and then you can also just go back. You see the back button?
I'm stupid. Anyways, ignore me, y'all.
No. Okay, so you might want to use it long way because you're gonna write 3 lists down.
3 lists?
Yes. Now, the first list that you're gonna write down are things that are extremely important to you, and if you don't tend to them or don't reach those goals or don't take care of or don't talk to or whatever the case, there's going to be a big consequence if you don't. So for instance, if you fail 4 out of 7 classes, so education, right, might be a big thing to you, because if you don't do well, you have a big consequence. But anyway, so we're going to make 3 lists, so make sure that there's enough space.
Y'all ignore me. So the first list is important things?
So the first list are big, important things in your life that you
I want to change the color.
Big, important things that has big consequences if you don't tend to them that are in your life currently.
My handwriting's bad, but it's okay. The handwriting of an artist, right?
All right, what you got so
far? Birth control.
Okay. Birth control is a big thing.
Education.
Why is birth control a big thing?
I ain't having no baby, because then that goes with the last one, money. If I have a baby, then I can't make as much money as I want to make.
Okay, yeah.
And then education, which also goes with money. So I think the big thing is just money.
Okay.
I think I really like money. Okay. Not on gold digger stuff. I'm not a gold digger. I don't fuck with getting other people's money. I want to make my own money. So anything that has to do with making more money is important to me. So my mental health, because if my mental health
is out,
did you write mental health
down? There you go.
I did now. Sure. My mental health is important to me, because if I don't put myself first, then can't make as much money as I want to.
Makes sense. What's that?
Enzo.
Oh, boys. Okay.
Boys.
So what about, what kind of goals do you have that are major for you? What kind of major goals do you have? Just one.
Getting through college.
Okay. Or write that down. If need be, we can just just take that screenshot and erase it. You can start over. Okay. And family. Any family, friends, or anybody that's in your life currently that you need to give things to, and if you don't, you're gonna lose them, or whatever the case may be.
I need to call my dad more often, and my mom. I need to talk to my parents more. And I need to see my best friend Nevaeh, because I haven't seen them in a couple of years.
So seeing friends.
Yeah. I'm just gonna put their name. They.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just.
You can save it, and then.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. So this time you're going to do the complete opposite. Very minor things in your life that matter to you, but doesn't have any consequences at all if you don't tend to them. But they matter to you. They're fun. It's things, anything like that. Fun things, hobbies. It could be goals you have, things you want to do today, tomorrow. It could be anything.
Okay. I promise I know what I'm doing. Things that
actually, now think about it, she's only gonna do 2 lists. This is the second list.
Okay. Things that so it's still
so things you need to do that are important, but they don't have many consequences at all. if you don't. Like, you need to eat.
That gives me a lot of consequences. But it does give me some benefits.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was a bad joke. I apologize if I offended anyone. I think that's enough.
Yeah,
I can't think too much.
Go ahead. What do we got here?
So the first one is painting. Because that's something that's a lot of like stress relief for me. But I don't have to. Like if I'm not painting, it's fine. It's fine. The second one I wrote Jane Austen because fun fact, I collect Jane Austen books. So
I don't know who that is or what that is.
She's a writer from like the 1800s. She writes kind of like coming of age novels. Coming of age novels.
1800s?
Yes, jeez. like what romance, like romance.
So they translated the hieroglyphs into.
No, she was British.
English?
I think
British
she was
hieroglyphs?
British.
I don't know.
No, it's like Old English, but not Old English. It's not old. It's not that
from the 1800s.
Yeah, like 1815.
Jesus Christ, that's like a literal
she's an author.
School history book.
No, but her books are really popular. Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, okay. Look,
she wrote that novel.
English and reading.
It's okay. That's my thing. Not
words, guys. We all know words.
I like to collect different like copies of Jane Austen books. So like different printed covers, different like hardcovers, soft covers, like all of them. Because I love her books. I'm obsessed with her. I think she is such an inspiration in my life. That's something I always want to get more Jane Austen books, but it's not like life or death. The next thing is Arby's. I want to eat Arby's every day, and I know that might be controversial for some of y'all. I know some of y'all are like, nobody eats Arby's. Yes, we do.
There are people who eat Arby's.
Arby's is good. Arby's is good as fuck. Get you a fucking... I'm sorry I cuss so much. Get you a fucking jalapeno bacon ranch wrap and get you some curly fries.
Chicken strips.
Curly fries, a cup of cheddar, some ranch, some mozzarella sticks. Like get all the stuff. Yeah. Another thing's like gift giving. Like I like to give all of my friends and stuff gifts all the time, but like if I don't, it's not like that's gonna like ruin my friendships or make me lose out on any people, because I like to fill myself with people that aren't like just there for that kind of stuff.
Right.
My hair. I love to dye my hair. It has been blonde for a really long time, and I really want to dye it pink again, but it's not. It's okay if I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of really want to dye it again. Clothes. I really like Teddy Fresh. This is brand. I love Teddy Fresh clothes. They're kind of expensive for a broke college student. And if I could buy every collection of Teddy Fresh, I would.
Yeah.
So that's like, I try to keep up with those clothes so that, you know, if there's anything that's really cute that comes out, I have enough money for it. Right. And also like buying crystals. I have a lot of crystals. I don't need more crystals, but I need more crystals. So yeah, that's my second list. And we'll save.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to do a quick little scene change, guys. So we'll be back. All right. So guys, so this is the next portion of the game. Look, these games are probably just going to get more and more intense as the things go on. I can't forget that over there. But so as you guys heard, she likes crystals and stuff. So I don't have crystals, but I got some next to kind of that. But we're kind of, what's going to happen was going to kind of base it off of what she has there. But I really wanted to be a surprise for her, so I didn't let her see it. Ooh. So that's why I was, ghetto with the towel.
I have no clue what's happening.
All right, so like I said, some of you may know what this is. If some of you might have seen it before. So what we have here is time.
Time.
This is a representation of time. It has all types of things, love, strong, all these things. But this is a representation of time, and yeah, okay. Makes sense? All right, so you can put it down here. So this is things like birth control, education, right? Like
money,
boyfriend, money, college, parents, friends.
So this is important stuff.
So these are the big important things, right? And these are the small things like painting, and crystals, and hair, clothes, and all those things. And these are all the stuff that's in between that has kind of like medium consequences and things like that, right? So typically, you have all your fun stuff, right? All the fun things, all the things that don't have many consequences at all, right?
Yeah.
That's just in your life, that it's pretty easy to make time for, right? Fairly easy. What I want you to do, what your goal is to fit all of the big things that are in your life, college, school, all those things, into here. And so while you're doing these, I kind of want you to explain what you're doing.
Okay, so I'm going to put all of them. I'm going to start with shoving them under there so that this just kind of like fills the void. So that like it can take up as much space as possible if I put the important things in the sand or in the little things rather than just having them on top, right?
Okay, right.
Because sometimes the important things kind of get a little buried under all the little things, right? Which is okay, because as long as they're still there, you don't always see the super important stuff, and you get caught up in all the little things. So I'm gonna fit it in there.
So this is just an exercise of trying to figure out best way to manage things that you care about versus the things that are very important, like that super huge rock, trying to fit that in, and trying to figure out how to manage it all. Because a lot of times, like with us, especially like you would understand, like in college, you get so used to just having to do this, and this. And it's like, okay, am I going to give all my time to the big rocks? Am I going to give a lot more of my time to the small little sand, and then try and fit the big rocks in? You know what I'm saying? And even sometimes the perspective has to change, and all those different things.
I'll put some of these in there. Because you can't do every important thing without having the fun stuff in there too.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
So as much as this is probably not the best idea, we're gonna shove those in there too. I'm a pro at fitting things into little spaces. Right?
So one thing I do know is that sometimes it feels like when you do change like things in your life, like when you do start college and you get to college, a lot of these rocks are different, become different rocks, So what kind of big rocks did you have before starting college?
Waking up for work on time.
Oh, you had a job, nice.
I had 3 jobs.
Oh,
I picked up little jobs. I worked at Subway. I did babysitting. So I would do morning shifts at Subway as the main opener. Our Subway had a drive-thru, which was so fun. And then I would come home, watch my niece, get paid for both of those things.
Was watching your niece small, medium, or large?
Large, because like I can't be tired when I'm watching her. Like I have to make sure that like she's okay. And also like no one else was home to watch her because everyone else in my family's got jobs too. So like we all gotta chip in sometime. So it's just I didn't really have a choice in that, so I had to do it. And then like keeping up with my senior year classes, which were all online, which I'm surprised I even made it through high school.
Yeah.
And then what else? A big thing was I had a boyfriend in high school.
And you had to give the time to him.
I had to schedule like when I could see him because he lived far, so I had to schedule like when I could see him, how I was gonna pick him up, because I can't drive. He couldn't drive. Right. He was stupid. I hate that man with my whole entire... I don't hate nobody. But that man can rock. He not even a man. He just turned 18. That boy can rock. I hope he having fun with his stupid little musicals right now. Stupid little short
remember you got to fit the middle things in there.
Oh, they will.
Don't forget about those.
They will fit in there.
Those are your stupid boyfriends.
My stupid boyfriends. Well, my current one is not stupid. I like him a lot.
That's good.
I really do like him. He's so sweet. But what else? What else did I have senior year? Yeah, just keeping up with schoolwork, working jobs.
So with like the sand, for instance, with the sand, you have the sand that pretty much for the most part stays constant. That's like those things that you've always had passions for, those things you enjoy doing. You know what I'm saying? So what kind of
what was the difference between what it was in high school and what it is now?
Yeah, are there any few that are different? Or?
Now that I'm in college, I really do like going downtown. When I was in high school, I just wanted to stay inside all the time and paint or read. Yeah. And now, while I still enjoy things like painting and reading, I definitely love going out. I love doing illegal things. No, not too illegal, but
yeah.
I love I feel like
it's not fitting. There's nothing else. You can stack it on top, but it's not fitting in time. It has to fit in all the time.
It's gonna fit.
All right, so let's talk about this real quick. Because you didn't really fit at all, but you got what you could.
This stuff is the stupid stuff, right?
What does this look like? How do you relate this to your life?
It looks chaotic. Stuffed in. It's like me after way too many drinks.
Trying to just stick everything in there and
me trying
eventually overflowing and
me
some
trying
things
to
falling
cram
out.
for my finals. Me trying to cram for my finals. That's what this looks like.
So
I got all the important ones in.
You got the important ones in, yeah, but where's all the things you love and care about?
They mixed in there. I just don't get to deal with all of them.
Are they mixed or are they at the bottom? This is time. Yeah. So if you are you have the things that you always are passionate about, right? Mm-hmm. And if you never decide to take things out of your life to shove things back in and then put on top, then you never will, right? So what this is representation of these are all the things that you normally have. And as things change in your life, you don't go back and say, hold on, wait, I care about, painting.
Yeah.
Let me put that over here and make some space now. And then put pen and sprinkle it on top. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I don't do that.
What we're going to do, guys, and we'll do this in the time lapse, so don't worry. But what we're going to do is reset this up and she's going to have one more chance. And we are back.
Hello. Okay.
We have returned.
Okay, so just to refresh it, this is all the big important things. This is what?
Those are the medium things.
These are the little things that I like.
Yes. So like
my
all the little things that have not many consequences if you don't.
So that's Arby's?
Take to them. So these is like Arby's. Hold on. Just wait.
I want to mix it all.
Go ahead and talk about the big ones.
Okay. Should I say what each of them represent?
Yeah, you can talk about them.
These are all money. That's all money.
Okay.
That's my boyfriend.
Okay.
This, all the crystals, all the gifts, all the happy stuff. And then these, what would be the medium? This is turning work in on time.
There we go.
Turning stuff in on time. And more of that. So All the pretty little things.
Slow down. You don't want to waste too much of what you have. Little. All right. Okay. Now let's talk about all the big things.
More big things. More money.
Future goals.
Being a pharmacist. Oh. Being rich. My parents.
my parent. One
mom, little rock. My parents. My dad. Wait. My dad. This is all the getting through college with honors somehow after failing my first semester. That's a big goal.
Amen.
Okay. Getting another job while I'm in college so that I'm not starving in Charleston anymore. Because I feel like 90% of the time I'm not eating when I'm at school.
Good. I mean, that's not good, but you know.
I mean. Now we put more. This is the free time stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So going downtown and drinking with my homie. Getting drunk and shaking ass on King Street.
Yes. Twerk, twerk, twerk.
Flirting with random strangers. I don't do that anymore. I don't think my boyfriend would like that. I might do it, but no, I don't. I do not flirt with strangers anymore.
Yeah,
Only when I'm drunk. And even then, I don't even mean it, because nobody compares. Right? My boyfriend's so cute. He's so cute.
I don't know what he looks like or even
nobody knows what he looks like except for me. And I think that's special.
Yeah, that's good though.
I'll send you pictures if he comes over for Christmas.
I like how you're layering these and your time and you're thinking about
Yeah.
Being strategic.
Yeah, because you only have a limited amount of time in the world, right?
Exactly.
Time is money, too. And money is very important. These more money, Rob. I probably seem so bad. I'm sorry. If I have money, I feel happy with life. And I know money does not bring happiness. It definitely doesn't. No,
but not having it.
Not having it is terrible. And having money makes me feel like successful. And if I feel successful, that's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
So, money.
You could probably just put all the rest of it in there.
Gotta layer. You see how it just slides down? More money. Family. Alcohol.
Yes.
Alcohol. Drinking. Woo. Sex. Woo. All my addictions. All the stuff that's unhealthy but fun. More money.
That looks so much better. And you got some extra space. All right, now let's explain this. Explain what this is with your life compared to the last jug, the last bucket.
Good time management is what this one is.
Time management, stress management.
Mental health.
If your college semester next semester went like this, what would that, or went the way this looks?
Then I would have all A's.
How would that feel? What would going through the semester actually look like?
I would actually be going to classes. Mm-hmm. And I would actually have my shit together, and I wouldn't be, going out all the time and avoiding all the big important stuff.
But you do have enough time to go out.
Huh?
But you do have enough time to go out.
Yeah, but I won't be doing that instead of doing all the important things and then trying to shove all the important things in at the end of the semester.
And now all your fun is gone and covered by all this stress. But now that looks pretty.
Yeah.
That actually looks really pretty.
Yeah. Just one money. Big rocks are money. I'm making money. I'm happy with myself.
All right, guys. So that's get your rocks off.
I see now why it's get your rocks off. Because there's actual rocks. That's actually kind of smart. I'm kind of glad that's a good thing. But now you can decorate your house with this. No, and never forget about
Except
me.
I'm probably going to use this again.
Sure.
For another. But yeah, so guys, we're going to do another last little scene change. I know there's the most scene change you guys have had. But we're going to do another scene change. And we'll get the chance to actually hear from our book here. And she can share more about herself. All right, guys. Welcome back. We've put everything away. And I know just the moment you guys have been waiting for. It's just to kind of hear another nice little story from a book here. And we get to kind of just talk and read her. And so, yeah. So I really like that exercise. I learned to exercise in this like little course I did about habits of highly effective people. Uh-huh. And it was a good course. It was really good. When I saw that exercise for the first time, I was just like, that's my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was uber triggering for me, but it makes a lot of sense. And I just kind of wanted to kind of see where like that has kind of played in your life. You did say that you have horrible time management.
I have terrible time management.
So I just kind of want to see like where that stemmed from, where it started, or even if like there was just kind of other things in your life that just happened, and then what led you up to where you are now.
Yeah, I mean, I've always kind of been pretty bad at time management because when I was like in school, my big thing was like cram for everything. Or like I never had to put in much work because I just understood things. I go to college and I suddenly don't know anything because most of the learning you do in college is on your own. Like your professor talks for an hour and then you got to go read a stupid book and then you got to go listen to stupid lecture recordings and then you got to do even more research on top of homework. And it's like, and then I had 7 classes. So I was just like, ooh, I don't have time management skills at all.
And what was your life like growing up and whatnot with utilizing? I mean, did you have like all those kind of responsibilities? Because you would think like responsibilities makes you learn time management.
Yeah, I feel like if I'm being completely honest, I was pretty spoiled as a kid. I was a really spoiled kid. I was the youngest girl. I had all my brothers, and then Katie, my sister, is like 12 years older than me. So like when I was growing up, she was like already on with her life. Same with most of my brothers. And no, like I never had like really big responsibilities as a kid. Like, do chores, but even then my mom wouldn't punish me if I didn't do them or anything like that. She wouldn't really. She would just yell at me to clean your room, clean your room, clean your room. And then I would finally clean my room after like 3 months.
Oh my God.
But and then with that, when I went into high school, it was I saw a lot of stuff. Like my brother got in trouble for something that is his business, but he got expelled from school for it, and like my parents didn't really do anything about it, and that made me feel kind of like, now if I do something, I'm not gonna really face any repercussions from it, and that's not how life actually is.
Right.
Because there's consequences to your actions, no matter what, and I didn't have a lot of those lessons. So I never, with time management, I never thought like, oh, me not doing this that's not going to affect me.
Consequences.
Yeah.
So like, so you do say, so at one point in your life, did you start to kind of, did you like consciously think, oh, nothing's going to happen to me? Or did you kind of start doing things and realizing like, oh, so there's nothing that happened to really him. There's nothing really happened to me. Did you ever push that?
I feel like a big thing was like when I was in school, I would procrastinate a lot. And I was a really good student when I first started high school. But like going through high school and seeing my brother like, barely do anything and still graduate, I was like, then why am I putting in so much work if he can graduate, get a decent job, and face no repercussions? The big thing that kind of like hit me that like, oh, there are consequences to my actions is like when my brother had his kid. like, because he had his kid at 18, and I was like, oh.
Oh, okay. So that was a consequence of something that you didn't want to experience.
Yeah. So I was like, I can't just be doing everything that I want to do because there are like serious consequences. Like now I got a niece and I got to take care of her because my brother was stupid and had a kid too young. And now, I mean, they've got it together now, but definitely not when she was just born. So, yeah. And then, yeah, definitely in high school when I was in classes, I would procrastinate, not turn in work. And then some of my teachers, because they liked me so much, would still give me like 80s or 90s for work I did not do at all.
Oh my God.
So it's like, it wasn't only just like an at-home like influence. It was school too. Like my teachers, the ones that loved me would still give me good grades because they're like, oh, you're really smart and you're trying, da 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 da. It's like, no, I'm not trying. I haven't turned in work for you since the beginning of the semester. What do you mean? So, yeah, it was a lot of...
So did you feel privileged? Because you did say you felt spoiled, but I think there's like a difference between privileged and spoiled. And so did you feel privileged as well, or?
I think I felt both for sure. I mean, there were definitely a lot of things that I didn't feel privileged with growing up because, like, you know, being the only gay one out of all my siblings, and then also my mom not believing that, getting outed in middle school, all of that stuff made me like kind of like this depressed, unmotivated, empty shell, like growing up, going into high school, and all of that stuff. So I didn't feel like I was necessarily privileged or spoiled. But when I look back at it now, I'm like, my mom was giving me everything. My dad was giving me everything. I wasn't really getting in trouble for anything. And I feel like I was just higher up than I should have been because I wasn't trying anything and I wasn't doing anything. I was just literally just letting whatever happen.
Mm. Wow. So, you know, I remember when I was in college, even my early time in the Marine Corps, when I think I was looking back on like me, my actions growing up and things like that. Like I used to think I was like this horrible child. Yeah. Now, like, I mean, well, a few years ago, like when I was thinking about those kind of things, like I was just a horrible child. I was just ungrateful, and I was actually more privileged and taken care of than I really thought. And so like, I remember like calling my mom, and I was listening to a Tadra Hall song about him wanting to come back home and wanting to be, you know, just, you know, home, and that's where everything is. And I just remember calling my mom crying. Yeah. Yeah. So you've had that call?
I don't think so yet, but I definitely, well, not like a call, but I've definitely had sit down talks with my mom where I start crying and I'm like, man, I was such a bad kid. And like, I love you so tough. Or like, not even necessarily saying it like that, but definitely I've had conversations where I tell my mom like how much I really appreciate everything she's done for me. And that, like, you know, I don't know who I would be if she didn't raise me, and like if I didn't have her and dad. So I've definitely had like those crying conversations with my mom where it's like, I'm so sorry for anything bad I've ever said to you.
What kind of things like would your mom respond with?
It was just a lot of like, she's like, oh, I know you didn't mean that, and you were a kid, and stuff like that. My mom gives me a lot of motivational talks. It's just, I feel like I don't remember them because we have conversations like that all the time nowadays.
Yeah, my mom said a very similar thing. She's like, you know, you weren't a bad kid. You know, you're growing up. So, you know, like, and one thing I do know is because like how you felt about like the consequences, things not happening. I think a lot of times we confuse consequences not happening, especially growing up, as, oh, that just means I'm not going to get in trouble. But sometimes it might just be your parents being like, okay, understand it. Yeah. And I don't think a lot of us, especially like, you know, like teenagers understand that. It's like, oh no, your parents are just being like, what's the word? Like tender and caring for you and understanding.
But there was definitely a huge difference between like me and my brother when it came to like getting in trouble and consequences. Oh, yeah. So like my mom very much like babied my brother, and then she would get mad at me. But on the opposite end, my dad would get mad at my brother, and my mom.
That's a good balance.
Yeah.
What would your life be like if you didn't have one of your parents?
Which one? Which one?
Either. Because so your mom was harder on you, and
my
your
mom
dad,
was harder on me.
Daddy's girl.
I am a daddy's girl. I could not.
What is that like? Because I didn't have both my parents growing up with me in that same house.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of family issues that aren't for the world to know.
Right. But I mean, that's a family.
Yeah, that's every family. But I love my dad so much, and he's always like been really understanding, really caring. Like when I got my first period as a kid, I was too scared to tell my mom. I told my dad, I was like, Dad, my period started. And he was like, go tell your mom. Go tell your mom. And I was like, no, I'm scared of that. And he was like, go tell your mother. And I went to my mom. I was bawling my eyes out. And I was like, and she was like, what? And she was like, okay, that's okay. But like my dad was always the one that like growing up would go pick up my tampons. Whenever I was on my period, I was like, Dad, I'm on my period. He would go, okay. He'd go pick up tampons. Sometimes he would get me like chocolate or whatever. But
yeah,
I feel like it's I could have become two very different people if I only had one. Like if I only had my mom, I feel like I would be a lot more screwed up than I am.
Even though she was the harder one on you?
Well, it's complicated with how my mom is because she was harder on me, but at the same time, some of her logic isn't the smartest, and she isn't always the best influence on me. When it comes to my dad, the reason I push myself so hard to being a better person is because I want to be like my dad. And I'm like, I love my mom, but I don't want to be like my mom. I feel like my dad is this very like logical, straightforward, confident, like, stable man. And my mom is very much the love life, be free, all of that, like emotional reactive kind of woman. And I do get a lot of traits from my mom. I can be very emotional. I can be very reactive. And I get my whole like pacifist thing because of my mom. But I always looked up to my dad growing up. So I feel like if I had grown up with my dad, I would be a lot different. And I don't know if it would be in a good way or a bad way because I don't know how my dad would have raised me without my mom. And I don't know how my mom would have raised me without my dad. Balance. Yeah, they did have a pretty good balance. And they both worked a lot when I was a kid. So it's like most of my like younger childhood is like with other people in my family, not necessarily my parents. And then like once I hit like middle school, I started seeing my parents a lot more.
I think around that time, it's like whenever they like having like more time and like less work because they have more money and they've kind of like developed more.
Yeah. And with my brother, we both have this like same thing that like he kind of feels like he didn't grow up with a dad, and I kind of feel like I didn't grow up with a mom because mom was always babying Morgan, dad was always babying me.
Oh yeah.
Because my dad gets off of work, he works hard, he's a tired man, he goes sits in his room for a while, and then goes to bed, goes to work next morning. I would go in there and I would go hang out with my dad growing up. My brother would go hang out with my mom. Oh. So it's not that he didn't, it's not that we didn't have the other parent. It's just that we both went separate directions when it came to when we had free time after school. Like I would go into dad's room, I'd go watch TV with him, and go talk to him for a little bit. It was still even that way in high school. Like I got a lot closer with my mom when I got older. Like me and my mom used to butt heads a lot when I was a kid, and then got into high school. Later high school, I started getting closer with my mom. Like going like talking to her, seeing how she's
even in
doing.
high school.
Yeah,
nice. I mean, like, a lot of people in high schools rebel.
No, I hope my parents never see this. At the beginning of high school, I was kind of doing a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah,
I did a lot of things I wish I hadn't. I've been sober off of a lot of stuff for 2 years now. And, like, I don't know how my parents found out about all that stuff. God, I don't know how they didn't find out about all that stuff. So I was definitely, when I was involved with all the wrong people in the start of high school, I was very, very angry at everything. Like my parents, like where I lived, being in South Carolina. Like I was angry all the time. And then like, I feel like my sobriety kind of like brought me to which sounds, it makes me feel like I sound kind of stupid because I'm still like really young, you know, but it's still an experience.
Exactly. Well,
yeah, and it's still valid.
Even things you did back then were either for your protection or for what you thought was best or for what you needed to get done for your fun or to just move you along for the next day.
Yeah, because I started doing stuff in middle school, like stuff I shouldn't have been doing, and you know, I got clean, and I like my whole perspective on the world kind of changed. My whole perspective on my parents, and just, you know, like my mom raised me with like always be nice to people, like no matter what they do, no matter what they say to you, always be nice. And you know, sometimes I can get you into like trouble with some situations if you really meet the wrong person, but I've kind of learned to balance that a lot more as I've gotten older. So I just grew up with that. Be nice all the time, be nice. And then it finally started like really hitting me when I hit like my junior year of high school. I was like, why am I such a bitch to my mom? Why am I like, she didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. I mean, so it sounds like you have awesome morals and like stuff like that. It's from your parents and like, it's like you did learn a lot. So just to kind of like wrap it all the way back to the like how college went, do you feel like your first semester of college has been a portrayal or a result of like how you grew up, or how do you like connect those two things?
Okay, so when I moved out, it's because the reason I chose to move to a college 3 hours away is because I wanted to still be able to see my family, but at the same time, I could not handle it because there are so many issues in my family that like I'm not going to talk about that. I don't talk about. That were really pushing me forward and forward. Like my senior year of high school, I was getting more and more like frustrated with being at home. So
kind of like reverting backwards a little bit.
Yeah, definitely reverting backwards. So when I got to college, it was like freedom. Finally, I'm out of that house. Finally, I can do whatever the hell I want to do. And with that came the procrastination came back, and like the oh, I don't have to work 100% of the time. I don't have to be like putting all of my effort into it. It's just the first semester. Like that kind of mindset hit me back again instead of the whole being motivated.
I get that. So, and you got 5, 6 years of school left? 7, 8, 9, 10?
5, 6.
Do you, so just from first semester and kind of just now knowing what it is like, especially like thinking about it now, because I'm pretty sure like thinking about this stuff now is like, oh, okay, I'm aware more of why like these kind of things went this way. Next semester and then like the following years, do you think that there's any better management you can do on your part, or do you think it's because sometimes people feel like, you know what, that's how my first semester went. It's just written in the books for it to go that way. Do you think that?
No, I know I can get my stuff together. I had a lot of advisors first semester, and near the end, after like midterms, I met this advisor named Morgan. Shout out to Morgan. Huh?
Like your brother.
Yeah, same name, but she's a different person, same name. Shout out to Morgan if she somehow ever sees this. She was an amazing advisor. She really got me into planning. Like planning out my week, planning out my month, writing down all the due dates. And that helped me so much for the last half of the semester. The only thing that messed me up was when we got back from fall break, I kept sleeping. Because the situation in my dorm just got so much worse. Because I had the worst suite mates. And like, I felt like whenever I was in my dorm, I felt suffocated. And I didn't have a lot of friends either. Like, I didn't start making friends until after midterms. And, like, I have friends now, and I'm moving into a different dorm next semester. And I've talked to my roommate a little bit today, and she's really cool. But, dang, my nose itches. It's the piercing. I swear. But, she, definitely got me into, like, planning and all that. And I think a big thing was living in the dorm furthest off campus where I have to walk 10 minutes to a class.
It was also
at 11 in the morning when I don't like walking. Now I live in a dorm that's like really close to like where all my classes are. And now I set up my schedule for all of my classes for next semester. My earliest class is at 1 p.m. It changed because at first it was only like 3 p.m. And then I didn't have Friday classes. But I really want to take this Greek class. So I have a class at 1 p.m. to like 2 something. And then all my other classes. So I have more credits this semester. And I have easier classes so that I can bring my GPA up so I don't get kicked out because I'm in on a program.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I am in on a program. Yeah. If I don't have a 2.0 by the end of second semester, I cannot go back to Charleston until I get 30 credit hours at another institution. And then at that point, it is useless to go back there.
Yeah.
At that point, just go straight into med school.
Yeah. So right now, with kind of like the ups and downs of your life, and we didn't talk too much about the mental health, and I want to, I guess, kind of you to keep that piece separate. I get because I really wanted the story, but kind of just with those kinds of things, like kind of putting yourself out there a little bit more, and then kind of come back in and tightening yourself down with your family, with like your freshman or your junior year, and then things kind of get a little bit out of control around you, and then finally you came to college, and then you're like, oh crap, I'll let loose. Where is your mental health like today and going into that from all of those things? Like, how do you feel about yourself? Because a lot of times we start to feel like I screwed this up. Oh, I tried to get better. Things got better and I screwed this up. And then this. Sometimes you start to beat on yourself. So how is it like?
Lately I've been forgiving myself a lot more for a lot of things in my life because I feel like, sometimes you need to go back to your healing stage and reset because I had a really bad situation happen at college and that kind of also fucked with my mental health, fucked with me going to classes. I didn't want to leave my dorm because of the stuff that had happened. And now my mental health is pretty good. I love myself. I know I love myself. I know I'm not putting blame on myself more than I should for my college stuff or my family stuff because a lot of those things are things that were out of my control. And one of the classes I took this semester, we talked about having the bubble of things that are out of your control that you cannot change, things that you can change, and things that are just gonna be that way, like circumstances. Yeah. And
like the sun rising.
Yeah, like the sun rising. The time of day, the fact
they used to hate the sun coming up.
The fact that I like women, like that. Yeah, that's just
things. These things just not. This is going to happen regardless. Yeah. It's just.
And then there's the stuff that it's stuff you don't have control over, parents arguing, friends arguing, other people's emotions.
How much time you have.
How other people view you, which is something that I struggled with a long time to come to terms with. Not everyone's going to view me the way I want to be viewed. And at the end of the day, I just got to accept that, move on with my life, not have those people in my life.
That's something I need to pay more attention to, too.
Yeah.
What other people say is right here.
Yeah.
The top one. What other people say is tattooed right here on the top on this side. Because, God, I struggle with that too much.
Yeah. I definitely.
One huge reason why I do a lot of this, because I really wanted to have, I want to make a different persona for myself and get away from who I used to be. And in doing that, I also really struggle with people's perspective of me from who I used to be. Not separate and not attaching who I used to be to who I am now.
Yeah. Kind of funny situation. Enzo went through one of my old Instagram accounts. I gave him permission. Geez. He kept reading the captions to me and I'm like, I was in high school. I was a freshman in high school when I said that. It's just embarrassing.
Yeah, don't look back at my social media.
I was like, stop scrolling.
10 years ago. Don't do that.
I got to one point I was yelling. I was like, stop. Don't say anything. Shut up. And he was he's just laughing at me. I was like, that's not me. That's not me. I don't know who that is.
Well, I thank you for sharing. It's getting really cold. But thank you for sharing. And I'm pretty sure our viewers and the viewers that you bring to watch it are excited. I'm glad you were able to kind of see the whole time thing and put the pieces plus the marbles and the rocks and all that kind of stuff.
I feel like I'm going to start looking at things a little differently again.
So, last thing, because there's plenty of college students out there and high school students rising into college.
Yeah.
With what you told me, with whether it's college, time management, the rebellious stage, I guess, that you kind of had.
I definitely had a rebellious stage. I had a drug addiction when I was 14.
For people going through those kinds of things, if you had to tell them anything, what would you tell
them? Okay.
For their future or for anything.
Everything you do has its own consequence. And that doesn't mean that things are always going to be bad. Even if the consequence is bad, sometimes that changes other things for you, that it'll be better. And just like a big thing, don't forget to like prioritize yourself over everything. Prioritize your mental health, prioritize yourself, prioritize everything you love about yourself. Because if you don't put yourself first, then you can't make as much money. But if you don't put yourself first, then nothing else will fall in line the way you want it to. If you put yourself first, everything else will just kind of fall the way it needs to.
Like the sand falling into the cracks.
Yeah.
Ain't that so?
Yeah. Right? See? And also, if you are starting college, if you're in college, and you somehow need advice from me, even though you're like older than me in college, don't be scared to like join clubs. For one, join as many clubs as you can. I'm doing that next semester. And don't get discouraged if you fail a class, because you know what? If you're going into college and you somehow fail your first semester, you can make it look so much better by having like really good grades the rest of college, and then it's a whole story, and then you can make up something crazy about being attacked by a shark your freshman semester, and then they'll think, well, oh my gosh, this person is so cool.
We don't promote irresponsible lying here on the
but what I'm saying is it makes it just because you fail your first semester, second semester, first year, second year, just because you failed some type of like in school does not mean that it's like life or death when people are looking at your college grades, when people are looking at your high school grades, because at the end of the day, it can show character that like, hey, this person was clearly in a rough spot at this time, but then look at how much they brought it up since then. So, yeah, that's a big thing. Also, yeah, put yourself first. Put yourself first.
And then money on top. Put yourself first and then money on top.
No, you first, then money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because if you don't put yourself first, you can't make as much money. You can't make as much money if you don't put yourself first. If you put money first and yourself next, then you're not making as much money as you could if you put yourself first.
All right, guys. Well, I want to give a huge thank you to everybody who made it to the end of the video podcast. And I want to give a special thanks to anybody who likes, comments, subscribes, follows, shares, all those things with everybody else and joins our community. We're always looking for more creators. So if you're interested, you can always just go to the website. Check out the website. We got all types of things over there going on. We have Mad Pride Week coming up eventually, so make sure you share some of your thoughts about that as well. But besides that, that's all we have here for Fundamental Lab for today. Yeah. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye. Everyone.